Good morning, Facebook Live. My name is Daphne Marcel Lee, professional dancer with Dance Theater of Harlem, and we're actually celebrating 50 years. But I'm here to focus on how to be in good health, how to have great cardio, and how to do a really strong warm-up in your mornings. It's really, really great for you. So, as a ballet dancer, I like to come into the space and I don't necessarily like to stretch. I prefer to actually warm up. So the first thing I'm gonna do is hit a plank. So yes, I know it's early, but we gotta make it happen. So I'm usually like this. For my planks, I'll stay here, probably like scrolling through social media at this time. I also like to stick my legs out, get that core going, and it really activates all my muscles. So this is one thing I do. From there, I like to go into the side and just hang out here for a little bit. I'm breathing. I'm getting my body warm, and that's one of the main things I need in order to get me ready for my 8-hour ballerina day. So this is all the stuff I like to do side to side. If you want to be really challenging, you can go forward and come back to the side, engaging your obliques, your core, all of this right here. And of course, if you can't do this sort of plank, you can always do it on your hands, and this is another option you can have as well. Same thing, lifting the legs out and side. And then if you want, you can rest and pulling the legs in just to sit, kind of feel the space a little bit more. One thing I also like to do is making sure that I'm really warming up my ankles and my legs. So I like to feel everything, make sure that I can see where in tune my body will be for the day. If I notice that my knees are hurting, I want to rub them, give them a little TLC, give them a little love, so that way they're also ready to help me out. So getting up, if you don't want to sit on the cold floor right away, I like to do little basic things like tendus. So this is really putting the bottom of the feet against the floor, making sure that you have the tips of your toes. You can do this in parallel. You can also plie. One thing to really help with your knees is mobilizing your knees by going in a circle a couple times. Then the other way. Also going side to side, so you want to engage your core and tendus to the left and right a few times. Same thing, activating these muscles. Normally I would have a bar here, but I don't, so I really have to make sure I'm on my leg. Same thing, make sure you plie in between. And I also do the same thing in first position. As if I'm at the beach and there's dirt and sand, and I want to make sure I'm brushing all of that. I'm using the inner thighs. So this is all stuff that goes into my warm-up. Same thing to the side, making sure my muscles are feeling long, that they're being pushed, and to the other side. By the way, if you notice what I'm wearing on my feet, I have ballet slippers, leather ballet slippers. If you don't have ballet slippers, just wear some socks. Back. Now this one's a little bit harder because I'm focusing on the turnout of my hips. I'm thinking of my big toe going backwards first. Trying to get all of that warmed up. From here, same thing, we're doing our plies. Now you don't want to make sure you go forward, you want to make sure you're just going up and down and engaging that core too. Now what I like to do is get the feet warmed up. So especially I have on flat shoes right now, but in reality I have point shoes. So I want to make sure that my feet are mobile enough that they can feel the floor, so when I get ready to put on point shoes, I'm ready to go. So I'm going to do demi-point, full point, demi-point, down, demi-point, full point, demi-point, down. And I'm really just opening up the bottom of my feet. Same thing, if you need something to hold on to it. Just kind of getting the toes very warm. Plie in between if needed. And take a big breath and do a quiet stretch forward, bending those knees again and rolling up through the spine. Put your feet in first position, twist your arms, rock side to side. Have both arms up, reach up into the sky, side to side, and big exhale forward. Really making sure we're working these tendons. And I always like to do a rub down. Everybody laughs at me at work when I do this, but I pretty much touch my legs, especially when it's cold. And this is just a great way to get the blood cells moving. Really rubbing of the thighs. And there's a lot more that goes into this, but I would be here all day if I really took the time to do it. But these are just little things just to kind of get my legs ready. But what I want to focus on is actually a little bit of cardio and petit allegro in the ballet world. After we have our bar and we do our pliés and all of those things, we come center and we kind of reiterate what we did at the bar again. So we'll start off with tendus. We'll end up doing adagio, and then we go into petit allegro. So one of the first things you want to do is start in first position. You can either have your hands in bras bas, your arms, this is part of the port de bras, or you can have your hands on your hips. And what we're going to do is plie, stretch, elevate up and down, plie, stretch, elevate up and down. And what you're making sure you're doing is you're not going forward. You don't want your ankles to be wobbly. You want to engage your core and pull up as if you can balance. And plie, stretch, pull up, down, plie, stretch, and up, down. Now you're going to do plie releve, which means you're no longer going to have the stop in between each one. You're going to go plie, releve up, plie, releve up, plie, releve up, plie, releve up. And you're probably like, well, this is not cardio, but we're getting there first. We don't want to jump right away. So what we're going to do now, from the plie, releve up, we're going to actually jump off the floor, and we're going to do 8 sautés in first position. So I'm going to have my hands on my hips. For those who want an extra challenge, have the arms in bras bas or have the arms in second. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and finish. You notice, like a cat, we have to come through on the balls of our feet. So notice all these exercises I did earlier are actually preparing you to do such. Let's try it again. This time I'm going to have the arms in second. And what this is allowing me to do is to get upright and making sure that I'm rolling my feet through the floor, so I'm not just coming down in any position. The plie is also helping my knees, and I'm supporting my core and my back muscles as well. So this is not something I'm just jiggling about. I'm really using that energy to straighten my legs. Next thing we're going to do is try it in second position. Ooh, I'm getting a little. Try it in second position and have your arms out to the side. You're also going to do 8 sautés. And you finish. If you want more of a challenge, you can bring the arms overhead. Shake out your legs a little. Let's do 8 more. And begin. Good. So now what we're going to do is part of the ballet exercise. We have 5th position. So we have first, we have second, there is a third, this is 4th, and then when the feet are sliced together, they are called 5th. So what we're going to do is changement. It's the same thing, but changement means to change feet. So we're actually going to jump and change the legs in the air, but they have to be straight. So you can't have any bent, wobbly legs. We just finished doing all those tendus, and we need to make sure we're really changing the legs. First time we're going to do it, we're going to have the hands on the hips. Second time, we'll have them bras bas. See if you can do it. You want to stay here. Make sure you plie into it. That is going to be your change. In the air, pointing those legs. It's not easy, but you want to try rotate and get those muscles tight. 5th position, 8 changements. And you finish back how you started. Shake your legs out It's not easy. You can feel your muscles start to cramp. You can feel your feet start to cramp, which is why it was so good earlier to actually go through those little toes and the bottom of the feet, making sure they're feeling the floor. Let's do it again, but have our arms in fifth position. Fifth, bring them all the way up and jump. Good, 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 good. And shake it out. Take a deep breath. Go forward. Nod your head. Say yes and no. And roll up. We're going to do one more step that is just like the changement, but they're called Italian changements, which is where the leg is going to come all the way up. Both legs are going to come all the way up. We're going to try to do 8 of those. This is a little harder because you still have to land in that same diamond-shaped fifth position and hit that position in the air, but not bend forward or bend backwards or have weak arms. So you have to make sure you're doing really strong changements in the air. We're going to aim for 4, not for 8 just yet. So you're going to start off in fifth position. You're going to jump, do a big giant Italian change in the air, and come back down. You're going to do 4 times. Let's start with the hands on the hips. I'm going to actually start in susu, where the feet are en releve, the heels are shown, but it's one big toe. I'm going to plie. And that's how you do 4 Italian changements. Go ahead and see if you could try it again. You're going to plie, jump in the air, get both knees and toes and feet crossing, and then go back down. You're going to continue to plie and change feet every single time. Let's try it again. Fifth position. Stomach up, core, shoulders. You're going to plie and notice I didn't wobble, I didn't go forward, didn't collapse at the end. You want to stay strong and shake out your legs. And those are part of your jumps that we do in ballet class when we're going across the floor or when we're doing grand allegro. You might see in assemblée, you might see changement, you might see sautés in first. I mean, these are all things to help us with our stamina. So be able to follow me on Daphne M. Lee on Facebook, Daphne 732 on Instagram, and keep up to date with everything that I'm doing as a professional dancer with Dance Theater of Harlem.